Hi, my name is Margaret Jardine, and I will be discussing the Culex fatigans mosquito, which is also known as the southern house mosquito.
Hi, my name is Bailey West, and I'll be discussing the Anopheles albopictus mosquito, which is also known as the Asian tiger mosquito.
And our debate topic is which is more dangerous to humans, the Culex fatigans mosquito or the Anopheles albopictus mosquito. So let's see, I am the first debater. So this mosquito is part of the order Diptera, which is also known as the true flies, and this is native to West Africa, and it's primarily spread to the west through the Atlantic slave trade on commercial sailing vessels. So they live in tropical and subtropical areas, and they continue to be spread throughout the world through aircraft and sea vessels. The adults are about 4 millimeters in length. They're primarily brown in color, but their extremities are darker in comparison to the rest of their body. This mosquito is peri-domestic, meaning that it enjoys being near humans and their activity. They are most active at dusk as far as emerging, mating, and laying eggs, but they blood feed during the middle of the night. So females lay their eggs in nutrient-rich water at dusk. They'll lay their eggs in virtually anything that holds water, even places such as a bird bath or even an old tire. The eggs are not drought resistant, so if the water in which the eggs are laid evaporates, then the larva will die. It typically takes the larva about 5 to 8 days to develop, but this is dependent on factors such as temperature, nutrition, and population density. The larvae feed on the water's biotic material, and 2 to 6 days after emerging, the females will mate and seek a host. On average, adult females live for about 1 month. Male and female mosquitoes feed on sugar meals from plants. This is the only thing that the males eat. However, females also feed on blood meals after they mate. They feed on the blood of mammals or birds during the middle of the night. Once the blood is digested, the female's eggs will have developed and she will lay them. And these mosquitoes reproduce all year and are active all year round. Most notably, this mosquito is the main vector for filariasis, which impacts 120 million people worldwide and costs about $1.3 billion annually. Filariasis is extremely debilitating. This mosquito is also the vector for many other things, particularly West Nile virus in the United States and St. Louis encephalitis virus. This mosquito not only affects humans, but it also transfers diseases to livestock and other animals, debilitating them and in some cases leading to death. This mosquito directly impacts human society through illness, economic loss, and death.
All right, so now for the Asian tiger mosquito. These mosquitoes are small. They're about 2 to 10 millimeters in size. They have a black and white color pattern, which gives them the nickname tiger. So there's a white stripe that goes from the top of their head down the back of their bodies, and have like white stripes on their legs and stuff. They're structured like all other mosquitoes with 6 legs, antenna, a long segmented body with a pair of wings, and the species has antennas that are shorter than their head, which is an interesting little fact. So this species of mosquito lays drought-resistant eggs in places like that hold little water line, like old bins or tires or bird baths. Egg development is dependent upon temperature, and they go through 4 life stages: the egg, larva, pupae, and adult. The egg of this mosquito hatches when the rain covers the egg fully with water, so they're really active in the rainy seasons. The larvae pupate after 5 to 10 days, and the pupal stage lasts about 2 days. Their larva stage is also called wigglers, and they're active feeders that eat on organic matter in the water, and the adult tiger mosquito lives about 3 weeks total. These mosquitoes lay their eggs in anything that can hold water, like I said. Stagnant water, preferably, such as tires, bird baths, flower pots, clogged drains, anything that kind of lay out in your backyard. They're closely associated to human habitation because they lay their stuff in man-made objects. They bite during the day, which is unique, and they're very persistent and aggressive biters. They also have they're very hard to get rid of, unless where they lay their eggs are like disposed of. Let's see, they invade yards in a strong way, and they cause homeowners to stop using their space because they're very persistent and hard to get rid of. This species of mosquitoes is known to transfer numerous amounts of disease to the human population. This disease, or this species, is a vector for dengue fever, which affects millions of people worldwide each year. Some people infected with this virus will experience no symptoms. Some will experience mild symptoms such as fever, muscle soreness, and rashes. However, some people do experience extreme symptoms, which can cause death. They're also known to spread yellow fever, Zika, and encephalitis, and they can also give heartworms to your animals. So some unique characteristics about them: like most mosquitoes, the females are the ones that suck the blood from the host. They do this because the females need the blood to help with their egg production. Tiger mosquitoes are unique in the fact that they typically feed in the daytime hours versus other mosquitoes, which usually feed at dusk or dawn. And this species is also unique to other species because they're active year-round.
Okay, so Bailey, one thing you mentioned was that the eggs will hatch whenever rain covers them with water during the rainy season. And you also mentioned that they are active all year round. Are they active all year round but only reproduce during part of the year because of the necessity for rain in their development as eggs?
So when this happens, the species of mosquito lays their eggs. They only hatch when the water submerges them, but they also are drought resistant. So once they're covered, they'll hatch, but if the water dries up, like, they're still active. So as soon as, they get covered, they'll hatch out and cause some issues there. So yeah, they're active all year round. So all right, so let's see. You stated that the southern house mosquito does not have drought-resistant eggs. If this is the case, would the species pretty much like exterminate themselves from areas that suffer from drought, or what?
So this mosquito is mainly found in tropical and subtropical regions, so they are constantly near water. Additionally, when females lay their eggs, they can lay them in naturally formed water reservoirs or man-made sources of water like ditches or even artificial containers. So females will lay their eggs in virtually anything that contains water. The problem with non-drought resistant eggs comes whenever the females choose to lay them in something that doesn't contain much water to start with, and the water evaporates before the eggs are able to emerge. However, this can be combated by females choosing more selectively where they lay their eggs. Bailey, my question is, if these mosquitoes are active during the day and they're also very persistent and aggressive biters, wouldn't humans or other animals for that matter have more of an incentive to kill them and be able to kill them more easily as opposed to if they were active at night?
Okay, so the Asian tiger mosquito is very hard to get rid of in your yard or property once they kind of infest the area. Since this species is very active during the day, most foggers and stuff that people would use to kind of exterminate the species is almost ineffective during the day because of the atmosphere and stuff. But to try and reduce the population, you could get rid of anything that would hold water, like tires, containers, bird baths, kind of just rid your yard of anything that would hold just a little amount of water so they can obviously not lay their eggs there. So there's that.
Okay, so the southern house mosquito is one of the most researched organisms in the world. They are used in research to further conclude how they spread such debilitating diseases and how they function as vectors. So knowing more extensively about them enables ecosystems to thrive and limit the transferring of various diseases to humans and animals. This mosquito is of extreme importance to study because they are the vectors for diseases, most notably filariasis, which is extremely debilitating. This, as well as other diseases spread to humans, results in illness, economic loss, and death. These mosquitoes also impact the populations of other organisms, all of which determine the functionality and health of an ecosystem.
All right, in the Asian tiger mosquito, they're used in research to see what types of disease they spread to human population, as well as animal population. Also to examine their behaviors and their responses to different things, obviously found out that their eggs are drought resistant and kind of what can be used to exterminate them, I guess. They're important to study because you get a solid idea of what they can spread around, and once they bite the host, how long it takes to see certain side effects if they do have the disease. Also knowing what they can carry and how many how much of the population they can get to if they are infesting an area and they do carry disease. it can help like scientists produce different types of vaccines for these diseases and just kind of know about them in a bigger way.
Awesome. Thanks for listening to our debate.
Thanks.